Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number 56 PWV. This is a painted white aluminum doorstop, aluminum door sweep with a vinyl insert. This is a piece of aluminum holder that will take a large piece of vinyl. The 56 is representative of this profile, where you're going to have the insert, specific color or lack of color, I suppose, finish, and then the V for vinyl. The 56 is available in different finishes. The A is mill aluminum finish. That's what it would look like if it was just sent as a raw piece of aluminum. It's also available in BDG, which is bright dip gold. You can get the aluminum portion in bright dip gold. You can do it in D finish for dark bronze anodized aluminum. G is a gold anodized, which is a more matte finish. You can then do the PW for painted white. You can do SN for satin nickel. The SN satin nickel finish is very complementary to satin nickel, but don't think of it as a true satin nickel, in the sense that it's not exactly satin nickel, and occasionally people say, wow, that's not really that close to satin nickel. It sure is closer to satin nickel, that item, than polished brass would be, but because it's aluminum with an anodized process, it's only an approximation. Anyway, we're talking about white, and I'm going to say that this finish is considered a powder coat. Okay, very nice and attractive finish on that. Now there is an image below this video that will show you the important dimensional properties of the item. Let's go over that now. You can see the overall height is about 1 7/16 overall. Oh, forgive me, 2 7/16 is what I meant to say. That's right on. You got 7/8 worth of aluminum, and then you've got 1 9/16 worth of vinyl. Why you would use this threshold is because simply you have a much larger gap below the door and the sill than you would find standard. Why would that be the case? Residential application. The white is a tip-off. It's probably residential. Not exclusively, though, of course. You may have had shag carpeting. That was all torn out. Hardwood floors were put in. The door height undercut was there, of course, to accommodate that very thick carpet. When the hardwood went in, it probably left you with a 1/2 of an inch additional gap that you really didn't care for very much at the end of the project. And rather than change the threshold and reduce the height of all of that, which is no longer going to be very compatible with your flooring, you say, you know what, give me a long door sweep, and there you go. That's why you might use something with an 1 9/16 length. One nice feature of the 56 is that it has this flap on the backside to help seal the backside. I think that that is a feature of the material as much as it is maybe compensation for the fact that this piece of aluminum is not very thin from Pemko, but there are others that you might see a very small, almost undetectable bellying of the aluminum between the screw points, depending on where you pre-drilled the holes, etc. I like to think that that flat back there is going to help really retard anything from coming in behind the material, face of the door down behind it, and capture it back here. That's what I'd like to think this is for. This is listed in the website in lots of different lengths, pretty much everything from 2 foot to 8 foot, certainly on 6-inch increments, maybe even tighter than that, and it will be tighter than that in many cases. If you have need for something very long, longer than 8 foot, let us know. We'll be happy to quote it. We just don't list it because of the cost to ship such long things is generally prohibitive to ordering this material, and certainly in small quantities. But you might have hanger doors or overhead doors and you really need 12-foot 4-inch lengths. We can do it, no problem. It's not an issue whatsoever. We can supply that to you. If you have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces, and simply indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. Now the reasoning is, if this was the genuine article, there's going to be a slotted hole about 4 or 5 inches from the end. It'll be slotted. And by the way, speaking of that hole, you will get screws with this that will be in a complementary finish. If you had to take a 48-inch piece, let's say, and cut it down to, say, 44-inch, you're going to eliminate that first slotted hole, and that slotted hole is very handy to have from the factory because it will allow you to tailor the door sweep, given a sill that may not be level, or maybe a door that's not plumb. Also, compensating for a misdrilled hole. You know, when you're pre-drilling the screw holes for the screws themselves, if you've not used a center punch, certainly, and regardless of drilling into wood or aluminum, steel, stainless, fiberglass, you know, bronze, I suppose, that drill bit has a tendency to walk a little bit before it pierces in. So that slotted hole will help compensate for a misdrilled hole as well. Really nice to have from the factory. Order it. You can cut it. It's just aluminum, certainly. Not a big deal. This is just vinyl that will cut very easily. But if you want custom lengths, order the next longest piece. Indicate in the comment field the length you want us to ship the material back out at, and we'll be happy to provide it that way. Vinyl is the least desirable of insert material because it will fatigue with extreme temperature, exposure to ultraviolet sunlight. I've seen vinyl just get frozen down to a threshold and somebody opens the door and rips the whole thing off. Vinyl's not exceptional. You only want vinyl when, frankly, in my opinion, cost is the driving factor for this. You're certainly going to want to look for bristle, neoprene, something longer if you've got that 1 9/16 length requirement. Neoprene, you'll be able to get close cell neoprene. You'll certainly be able to get bristle, both of those far superior to vinyl. But you can get the vinyl in white, where if you did anything else, it'll probably be black. Certainly it'll be black in neoprene and not always bristle. Some bristle you can get in white. You might not get the long lengths. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Pemko products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Pemko 56 PWV painted white aluminum door bottom sweep, or any other Pemko product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you very much.